Namaskar, dear friends. I'm very happy to be able to present to you the fifth video during the Navratra days. May God bless all of us. Today's video is very auspicious as we will discuss the cosmic creation of Krishna, the Supreme God, and we will discuss of his opulences and the bhakti that he himself desires, along with a few guarantees and assurances that he gives to his disciples. So, with your permission, let me begin. So, this concept of discussing the creation of Krishna emerged when in chapter 10 there were specific references that Krishna, while giving his opulences to Arjun, mentioned that out of 12 sons of Aditi, he is Vishnu. Out of the 8 Vasus, he is the Agni. Out of the 11 Rudras, he is the Shiva. And out of all the Maruts, he is the Marichi. So, maybe you all know some of these, but I was not aware of it. So I thought to do a deep dive into what exactly were these divine groups that he was referring to. And in making me understand, I try to make a org structure of what the cosmic creation of Krishna would be. So this is the background of why this org structure was attempted to be clear. And one more thing, that since we are wanting to discuss on bhakti, we should know that this bhakti is for Bhagwan. Bhagwan, as per definition, like Dhanwan is someone who has dhan, and Balwan is someone who has bal. So necessarily, Bhagwan will be someone who has bhag. Bhag is another name for affluences. So the affluences of Bhagwan are strength, beauty, wealth, fame, knowledge, and renunciation. And these are unlimited and undiminished for eternity. So only, that person we can claim to be Bhagwan who has these affluences, which remain constant in the same quality and intensity for time, eternity. So with this affluences, we find that Krishna is the Bhagwan, and then we will try to understand the bhakti that he wants us to do. So in the org structure, we need to understand that God, in his own thought process, would have created the universe. We might scientifically call it the Big Bang or in any way which, but he has created this universe with a purpose. So he has created the universe, and he has created good as well as bad. So the good are people. Basically, the group is of the people who uphold dharma, the devas, and the opposite group is those who will oppose it, which are the asuras. So in time, right from beginning till now, we will have this both groups required to do the check and balance, and also to better understand of each other, because we know that we understand the importance of light if we experience darkness. So there are these both forces together. So he has created the goodness, the people who will always follow the dharma, and he has created those who will oppose it. And these are the two worlds that are there. So the Devtas are to uphold the divine order, and the Asuras are there to challenge it. Both are required. The Asuras force the Devtas to be on their guard, to be alert and vigilant. Otherwise, the Devtas will become complacent and will not be, as effective. So the Asuras are required to do the check balance and also to push boundaries. Of course, sometimes they do this unethically, and we will have various stories, whether in the Mahabharata or in the Ramayana, where the Asuras, or in Ramayana we call them the Rakshas, they try to push the boundaries unethically. So the Supreme God does not reject the Asuras, but uses them as instruments to give a message. So this is something which we need to understand. So, and these the forces of the Devtas and the forces of the Asuras have been from time immemorial. In Satyug, these two forces were in different planets. In Treta Yuga, which is the Yuga of the Ramayana, they were in different geographies. So we have Ramchandraji in Ayodhya, and we have Ravana in Lanka. In the next Yuga, which is the Dwapar Yuga, they were in the same family. The Kaurava families had these two, the Kur family. And Kalyug is very scary because here the Asuras and the Devtas are in the same person. So they have resided in us only. So we need to understand these forces very, very carefully. So for simplicity's sake, the world of the Devtas I'm calling as the Sanatan Dharam Incorporation. Of course, the chairman and the CEO is Lord Krishna. He has the ultimate authority, source of all departments, issues divine policies like the Bhagavad Gita, which is like a corporate manifesto that we. So I'm trying to do this so that people who are more familiar with the org structure, and they need to understand this whole thing of so many gods and goddesses in some kind of a logical way. I'm trying to maybe help in their understanding. So Lord Krishna then has to create co-founders, which is the executive board, and in this role, he has created CTO, which is the Brahma for creation, or CEO, which is the Lord Shiva, dissolution and transformation. Is a lot of destruction as well as transformation. CFO, of course, is Lakshmi for wealth and resource management. The CHRO, the Saraswati, knowledge and HR, human refinement, and CSO, which is Durga Parvati, which is security and crisis management. So with this simple understanding of the role of the co-founders, we will be able to grasp the org structure in a better way. And then we go down. So they have then the next is the shareholders. So each of these three have their family lineages, and they are the divine families. So Brahma will have a lineage, Shiva will have a lineage, and Krishna will have a lineage. So these are the divine families. So till here, all the gods that have been named are equal, and in some way are as powerful or as potent as the Supreme God Himself, because He's created it for just ease of our understanding. From here onwards, whatever has been created as are now the posts. So, like in an organizational structure, now these are people have to fill these posts. So, the first is the celestial gods, which are we can be considered to be departmental heads. So, whichever is the gods which are related to nature. So, like rain relates to Indra, which is weather, war, morale, fire, Agni, wind, Vayu, sun, Surya, moon, Soma, death, Yama. Death, I have named, you'll find it interesting, responsible for the roles of exit interview and karma audit. So, this is one Yamraji which we are all afraid of to meet, after this journey of this birth is over. And Varuna, of course, for the oceans, law of contracts and fruit. So these are celestial gods which we also pray, and we will explain the effectiveness of the prayer. So the effectiveness of prayer for these celestial gods and below is lower than whatever has been the above three groups. The celestial gods, to make their work easy, have created the demigods, which is the union of celestial gods with mortals and their helpers. So we have the Ashwini Kumars, the Maruts, the Gandharvas, the Yakshas and the Kinnars. So they are into specific areas. So this was what Lord Krishna in chapter 10 was meaning, that he is uh, out of various Maruts, and which Marut is he. So this led me to understand that if I understand the logic of the organized structure in the way I've just mentioned, I'm able to grasp what was mentioned in the Gita. And even in Mahabharata, so just to explain what the difference of demigod and celestial gods, then celestial gods are with the nature, and the demigods, which are the union of the celestial god with some mortals. So Mahabharata is full of them. Yudhishthir, a child of Dharamraj, Bhim, child of Vayu, and they are called, like Arjun, a child of Indra, and similarly, Karna, son of the sun, Bhishma, we call Ganga Putra, we all know. So these are the demigods. Demigods have further got field agents, so these are the mortals like us, and some of us have the divine spark, and rishis, yogis, avatars. They operate in the mortal realm, executing divine strategy. So, in short, we have tried to understand, the org structure of the Sanatan incorporation, and the metaphor maps beautifully into the Vedantic theology. So, some of these thoughts are from the Vedic scriptures, and some, of course, are from the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is the it understands the Veds completely, and has full gives full authority for the Vedic scriptures to be sacrosanct. So Krishna is the Parabrahman, which is we are aware that he tells Arjuna of this. Brahma and Shiva are functional emanations, and celestial gods are the manifest forces of nature we just discussed. Demigods are bridges between the realms. So this also we understand in many of the films that we see, the Hollywood films. We have this demigods kind of relationships. Either it is from this the Disney movies that we see. So the mortals like us are aspiring interns on the path to divine promotion. So this, in short, is the org structure of the Devtas. Of course, the cosmic challenger corporation is what the Asuras are giving, and I've called it Avidya enterprise. Avidya means ignorance. So Devtas are the higher faculties like truth, light, selfish, selflessness, and the Asuras are the lower faculties, desire, pride, illusions. Why this is important is because now both of these Devtas and the Asuras are residing in us, so we need to understand, and in any Samudra Manthan, we go through the Samudra Manthan every day, and that churning is required for spiritual evolution. So there is a org structure of the Avidya enterprise of the Devtas, but I'm not going to it. But they are specific names of the founding lineages of the Masur, the chairman and the CEO, the middle management field agents. So let it just be understood that these are tyrants, manipulators, ego-driven seekers, often gifted but misaligned with Dharma, always challenging Dharma. Some of them we see in the Puranas and the other stories are redeemed through devotion, like Prahlad and other people. So let's just consider on the philosophical insight that they are the forces of ignorance, the Asuras, and they challenge the seeker, forcing the spiritual growth, and their presence is essential for the churning of the consciousness. So let's leave it at that, and now come to the main topic. So now we have understood that there is a org structure which God has created, and there is opulences that the God has, which makes him Bhagwan, and there's a bhakti which is required. So let's understand, why do people do bhakti? See, the lamp of bhakti is lit in individual's mind in any of these four emotions. Either people are fearful. So the fearful people are those who are unfortunately at that point of time afflicted by disease or by some issues which gives rise to fear, and then they seek out to help from the God through bhakti. They are the other group which are doing bhakti for fulfillment of desire. So they seek worldly possessions. मुझे बड़ी गाड़ी चाहिए, मुझे बंगला चाहिए, मुझे प्रमोशन चाहिए, एंड उसके लिए मैं भक्ति करने को तैयार हूँ. सो दे आर डूइंग दिस ट्रांजैक्शनल काइंड ऑफ अ भक्ति. There are some who have doing it for gratitude. So they what they wished they have got, uh, and now they feel a deep sense of gratitude, and that makes them seek out the spiritual path to bhakti. And then there are the people who do it for the the sampurna samarpan. So which is the real bhakti, which is that I don't want anything in particular. I just want to do this journey of self-realization, and in this journey of self-realization, I completely surrender to God to lead me to this righteous path, and like this image shows, we are doing this bhakti to reach out to Lord Krishna. So the bhakti most precious to Krishna, which he specifically mentions in all throughout the Bhagavad Gita, is the bhakti which is born of love, because there is no vested interest, there is no motive. It is totally selfless. Now there's another group who can never experience the feeling of bhakti. The first group is that who live off for gratification of senses. तो उनका पूरा जन्म से लेके end तक they are just worried about eating, drinking, sleeping, mating, defending. वो तो animal लोग भी करते हैं. So they are just wanting to seek instant gratification of whatever the senses are driving them to. So they are, how can they have this feeling of bhakti? So they are not going to experience it ever in their life. The second group who don't experience real bhakti is somehow by their previous good deeds, they are in a position of influence. They could be politicians, or they could be other leaders, but instead of using that position to reach out and show people the righteous path, they are exploiting them, and they are under the impression that they themselves have become God. So we can have so many godmen moving around, and there are so many gullible disciples who can give their life, their savings, everything, just to please some god man. So God bless them. These are the people who actually are not doing bhakti. They are just exploiting people. So they are the second group. The third group is the one who try to through their intellect find about the Vedic scriptures, find about whatever the Bhagavad Gita or the other divine documents that we have, but not to gain knowledge, but to find fault. So we have many of these thinkers moving around. And then finally we have those who are determined, and they are proudly thumping their chests and saying that मैं नहीं मानता भगवान कुछ नहीं होता, हम atheist है. So these are the groups that will never experience bhakti. So like we said, Krishna needs us to do a bhakti of Samarpan. So what is this bhakti that Krishna wants us to do? So bhakti is exclusive love of Krishna mixed with faith and reverence. He explains that beautifully to Arjun. Bhakti is also discharging our duties of life, detaching ourselves from the fruits of action. and detached action gratification. So that is also bhakti. Bhakti is in the engagement of the senses in the service of Krishna. So all our senses are now experiencing a higher taste, through bhakti. So bhakti is in humility, non-violence, in truthfulness, in compassion, righteousness, austerity, equanimity, equipoise, contentment. So in the next video, we'll do I'll try to do some, like a what should be a balanced scorecard for us that Krishna wants us to do. So we'll attempt that. But bhakti is when all actions, thoughts, efforts are sacrificed, dedicated to Krishna. So all of this is the bhakti of Samarpan. Now Krishna's advice to Arjun is very clear that you can do bhakti to me through the Gyan Yoga, which is fixing your mind on me alone, placing your intellect in me, and then you shall dwell in me hereafter. There is no doubt. That is, he explains that, uh, chapter 12. This is all between verses 8 to 11. But he says that this might be difficult for you, so you can try the next easier one, which is the Dhyan Yoga, which is pure knowledge. If you cannot do it, so you can reach me through meditative discipline, which is Raj Yoga or Dhyan Yoga, through consistent effort, which is the Ashtanga Yoga, where it is mentioning to. And if that is also very difficult for you, you can do it through the bhakti route. So you can intend on working for me, performing actions on my sake. So the other, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhus and that kind of a bhakti in which the whole life is dedicated to, connect with Lord Krishna. But the easiest, which Krishna recommends, is the karma yoga with bhakti. So, which is just do your actions which you are prescribed by your Swadharma and by Sanatan Dharma, and just detach the expectation of results. Just leave out the thought that you are the doer and you deserve that result, and do it just as a duty towards me. And this is the easiest way to do bhakti. So this is bhakti. So the other thing which is very unique in Bhagavad Gita and Krishna, with Lord Krishna, is that unlike our life, there is no guarantee anywhere. लाइफ का गारंटी नहीं है, हेल्थ का नहीं है, रिलेशनशिप्स का नहीं है, किसी चीज का नहीं है। जो हम लोग पहन रहे हैं, खा रहे हैं, पी रहे हैं, नथिंग देयर इज अ गारंटी। अगर गारंटी है भी तो बिटवीन द स्टैचुटरी वार्निंग्स द गारंटी is diluted, or it's for a limited duration. So in today's age and time, when there is no guarantee, there is Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita standing firm and giving out guarantees which are very, very specific and very powerful. So the three guarantees which I have chosen for you to consider, and these are, I have chosen to replicate the verses so that you understand. Verse 66 of chapter 18 specifically mentioned that, Sarvadharma Paritajya, this is a very, very famous verse. So abandon all duties and surrender to me alone. I shall liberate you from all sins. Do not grieve. इससे बड़ा गारंटी क्या हो सकता है? I mean, why are we going around helter skelter? He further says in verse 65, same chapter 18, that fix your mind on me, be devoted to me, worship me, and bow to me. You shall surely come to me. This is my true promise, for you are dear to me. इससे powerful क्या हो सकता है? I mean, Lord Krishna himself is saying. And the one which is the most powerful, which I find is, which is in chapter 9, verse 22, that to those who are completely and constantly devoted and worship me with full devotion, I give what they lack and preserve what they have. So I am so touched by Krishna's powerful assurances कि जो तुम्हारे पास नहीं है मैं उसको प्रोवाइड करूंगा, और जो तुम्हारे पास है मैं उसकी रक्षा करूंगा। इससे और बढ़िया क्या हो सकता है? Apart from this, this I will rush through. There are various assurances also, in the Bhagavad Gita, which I am mentioning. So he says that I am equally disposed to all living beings. There is no, hate or favor. Those who worship me with devotion dwell in me and I in them. So this is one essential thing, that when you reach a level of bhakti that we are referring to, we will find and experience God in everything and everything in God. So that is a state which we should aspire for. He further, assurances gives that even if the most sinful people worship me with unwavering devotion, he must be considered righteous, for he has resolved rightly. So एक बार अगर आप ये अंडरस्टैंडिंग कर लो कि जो मैं कर रहा था गलत था और आज से my path becomes righteous, that is enough for Krishna. He himself assures us that he quickly becomes the person who does this, introspection. He becomes righteous and attains lasting peace. My devotees never get lost. इससे अच्छा assurance क्या हो सकता है? He further says that all types of devotees are noble, but those, the wise one, जैसे उसने अर्जुन को भगवान ने पहले ही बोला कि ज्ञान वाला सबसे ऊपर है, and then he climbs down to, so he specifically mentioned that again. And then in verse 8, chapter 12, fix your mind and intellect on me alone, then you shall dwell in me without doubt forever. तो ये जो इधर उधर सब लोग भाग रहे हैं, तो he is trying to guide us कि there is no need of confusion, there is no need of creating an impression that it's very difficult to reach out and experience me. So just have to fix your mind, intellect on me alone, and then you shall dwell in me. He further says, chapter 10, verse 10, those who are constantly devoted and worship me with love, I grant the wisdom for which they come to me. Further goes on to say, verse 11, chapter 10, out of compassion for my devotees, I destroy the darkness born of ignorance by shining the radiant lamp of knowledge from within. जो हमने पहले भी कहा, तो we have to do our actions with the wisdom, with the light of wisdom. So that wisdom is, Krishna is saying, I'll give you that wisdom. Again, verse 30, chapter 6, one who sees me everywhere and sees all beings in me, such a person never loses me, nor do I ever lose them. So, which is more important, he gives the assurance that मैं तुमको नहीं छोड़ूंगा, I will seek you out and deliver you. Finally, verse 40, chapter 6, he says, there is no destruction for him, for this bhakt, either here or hereafter. One who does good never comes to a bad end, dear one. So these are the assurances. Now, there is a confusion of many of us who have, over time, because of habit or because of, they have been from childhood, they have seen their parents, their grandparents doing bhakti, but not necessarily of the first three, categories that we discussed in the org structures, but bhakti for the celestial gods and demigods. So very, very clearly, Krishna also mentions that bhakti of the celestial gods and demigods is also good, but it has limitations. So in chapter 7, he mentions that people driven by material desires turn to demigods for quick results. Those people who are doing bhakti for celestial gods and demigods need to introspect, because it seems that this kind of a bhakti is more for getting some desires met, and they, like if you need rain, you pray for Lord Indra. So something which is related to some material outcome, the bhakti is for this, for quick results. So this is one which he says. Then he adds on in the next verse that he validates their sincerity. So even if you do bhakti, your validation of the bhakti is by Krishna. He is the source of faith, of all your faith. तो जो आपकी भक्ति जागी है किसी celestial god से demigod में, वो भी supreme god कृष्णा ने ही पैदा की है. और Even demigod worship is ultimately powered by his will. So he allows you कि ठीक है, आपको अगर कोई celestial god से connect हो रहा है, demigod से हो रहा है, पर उनसे आप connect कर लो, उनको मैं ही sanction कर रहा हूँ. But there is a clear contrast. So इन सब की भक्ति celestial god demigods की temporary है और मेरी eternal है, और वो supreme की भक्ति है और ये उनसे नीचे of structure की भक्ति है. Further on in chapter 9 he goes on to say that he accepts that all worship is equal but distinguishes direct devotion from indirect paths. तो इधर उधर जो भटक रहे हो वो मेरे पाथ में आने को हो सकता है तुम्हें टाइम लगे, अगर आ जाओ तो बहुत अच्छा है, और अगर यहीं भटकते रहोगे तो इतनी इफेक्टिव नहीं होगी. दैट्स हिज मैसेज. तो वर्शिप विदाउट ट्रू नॉलेज, दिस इज व्हाट आई सेड, लीड्स टू लिमिटेड स्पिरिचुअल प्रोग्रेस. तो आपकी प्रोग्रेस तो होगी बट इट विल बी very limited. So in this way Krishna honors all sincere worship, but emphasizes that for leading to himself experiencing the divineness of our own soul by self-introspection, it is his bhakti that is going to give you dividends. And I've just explained to you various guarantees, assurances which Lord Krishna has given. So I hope this clears some way which what kind of bhakti is desired from us, and maybe we can do some introspection and do the required course correction. So all the bhaktis are good, all gods are equal, but the big boss is the Supreme God Krishna, and I hope we all reach out to him in our due time, and the light of wisdom, like TSS said, is lit in your own life to brighten up your journeys. Thank you. God bless.